Some of history's greatest discoveries were not planned. They were found purely by chance. On a humid morning in July 2011, the ancient Padmanabhaswamy Temple in Kerala became the center of global fascination. Beneath stone corridors and candlelit sanctuaries, a court-ordered team prepared to open Vault B, a chamber sealed for generations, its contents the subject of legend and whispered speculation. The temple's trustee, K.R. Gopalakrishnan, stood beside Supreme Court-appointed auditors and a police superintendent as workers eased aside the stone slab. What greeted them was beyond imagination. Stacks of gold coins, ceremonial crowns, ropes of diamonds, and gem-encrusted idols, all packed in pawwood crates and wrapped in glassine sheets that had preserved their luster for centuries. The initial inventory, conducted under the watchful eyes of a conservator and recorded in a police chain of custody log, revealed gold objects of astonishing purity, over 92% as later confirmed by X-ray fluorescence analysis. Each artifact was weighed, cataloged, and examined for signs of tampering or corrosion. Scanning electron microscopy uncovered dendritic patterns etched by time, evidence that the treasure had remained undisturbed since the medieval era. News of the find spread rapidly, triggering a legal and political storm. The Temple Trust, guardians of the deity's wealth, clashed with state officials over ownership and access. The Supreme Court intervened, appointing a special committee to oversee the hoard's conservation. And to ensure that every item, whether a gold diadem or a silver lamp, was preserved according to international standards, conservation scientists introduced protocols for mechanical cleaning and chemical stabilization, knowing that improper handling could erase clues to the treasure's origins. As the inventory continued, the question of stewardship loomed large. Should the wealth remain under religious guardianship, or does it belong to the nation? The answer would shape not only the fate of the treasure, but the very definition of cultural heritage in modern India. A shepherd searching for a lost goat in the cliffs above the Dead Sea in 1947 stumbled upon a clay jar sealed for centuries. The jar, hidden deep within Cave 1 near Qumran, was caked in desert dust and nearly invisible in the half-light. With a simple tap, the shepherd cracked it open, revealing fragile rolls of parchment wrapped in linen. These scrolls, preserved in the dry air and sealed clay, had survived 2,000 years untouched by human hands. The shepherd, unaware of their value, carried a handful down to a local antiquities dealer. Within days, the news reached Jerusalem's small circle of scholars, setting off a chain of events that would upend biblical studies worldwide. The scrolls passed from the hands of Bedouin finders to the workbenches of conservators at the Hebrew University. In a laboratory thick with anticipation, experts faced the challenge of unrolling parchment so brittle it threatened to crumble at a touch. A humidified glass plate technique was devised, coaxing the ancient script into view without destroying it. As the first lines of Isaiah emerged, scholars realized these were the oldest biblical manuscripts ever found, predating known texts by nearly 1,000 years. Variations in spelling and phrasing revealed the evolution of Scripture, challenging assumptions about the origins of the Hebrew Bible. Among the discoveries was a copper sheet, etched with a mysterious inventory of treasures buried across the Judean wilderness. While the list would inspire decades of fruitless searches, the real treasure lay in the words themselves. What began with a shepherd's accidental glance became a scholarly revolution, offering a direct voice from a vanished community and forever altering the study of ancient religion and history. A cold December morning in 1972 brought a sudden halt to routine construction on the outskirts of Varna, Bulgaria. As workers dug a foundation trench for a new residential block, a shovel struck something hard, a metallic sound, sharp and foreign in the earth. The foreman paused the job and, following protocol, contacted the Regional Archaeological Institute. Within the hour, field archaeologist Ivan Bochev arrived, notebook in hand, ready to document what would become one of the most astonishing finds in European prehistory. The team's first careful brushstrokes revealed a cluster of gold bracelets and a necklace, still gleaming after more than 6 millennia underground. By midday, the Ministry of Culture had sealed off the site, and excavation logs began filling with precise entries, time-stamped discoveries, sketches of object placement, and layer descriptions. The systematic approach preserved the burial context, capturing the story of a society far older and more complex than anyone had imagined. Over the following weeks, archaeologists uncovered a vast necropolis, nearly 300 graves spread across 2 hectares, with more than 3,000 gold artifacts, sun discs, diadems, beads, and scepters emerging from the soil. The total gold recovered weighed in at approximately 6 kilograms, a staggering sum for the late 5th millennium BCE. Radiocarbon analysis dated the burials to between 4,600 and 4,200 BCE, pushing back the timeline for organized metallurgy and social hierarchy in Europe by centuries. Field diaries from the time detail a striking pattern. Some graves, clustered at the cemetery's heart, overflowed with gold and finely crafted weapons. Others, at the margins, held only simple pottery or a few shells. The contrast pointed to a society where wealth and status were already woven into the fabric of life and death. The Varna necropolis stands not just as the world's oldest known gold hoard, but as evidence of the first European elites, their authority and ritual power literally buried in gold. What began with a single metallic clink in the earth ended with a complete revision of the European prehistoric timeline, all meticulously recorded in the hand of a cautious foreman and a meticulous archaeologist. After a violent Atlantic storm battered Jersey's coast in February 2012, Lacation Beach revealed something extraordinary. The shifting sands exposed a shallow, rust-stained pit, scattered with metal fragments. Richard Miles, a local hobbyist, arrived early with his metal detector. Near the old Gravesend fort, a faint signal drew him to dig. He uncovered a dense cluster of ancient coins, bronze torques, and a sword hilt, all pressed together by centuries underground. Instead of keeping the find, Miles alerted the police. The Grouville Parish Clerk and Jersey Heritage Office responded immediately, sealing off the site and cataloging every object under strict chain of custody rules. The hoard, later named Le Catalan II, contained over 69,000 Iron Age coins, 11 gold neck rings, gold and silver ingots, and decorated bronze jewelry. By February 14th, the entire collection was secured at the Jersey Heritage Museum under accession JH LCII 2012. News of the discovery spread quickly, drawing amateur detectorists to the beaches. Within a year, Jersey's legislature tightened heritage laws, requiring special licenses for metal detecting in protected zones and guaranteeing rewards for significant fines. A storm's accident had transformed local policy and awakened a new sense of stewardship. A sonar operator aboard a Colombian Navy vessel stared at a flickering screen as a deep, metallic echo registered across the monitor. The year was 2015, and the ship's mission was routine seabed mapping. Then an anomaly appeared at a depth of 600 meters. Within hours, a marine archaeologist from the national team authorized a remotely operated vehicle to descend. The ROV's high-definition cameras cut through the gloom, revealing the ornate carvings of a Spanish galleon's hull. Its timbers had been preserved in cold, silent darkness since 1708. The manipulator arm, guided by a technician above, reached for a gold-plated cannon half buried in silt. As the artifact broke the surface, it was logged and sealed under strict chain of custody, every movement documented for future courts and museums. The discovery of the San Jose set off an international legal storm. Colombia, Spain, and private salvage companies all staked claims, each invoking a different law of the sea. The case reached the International Tribunal for the Law of the Sea, where judges ruled the wreck cultural heritage, not commercial salvage. The verdict required that the treasure remain under state stewardship, prioritizing preservation and research over private profit. In the end, technology had pierced the abyss, but it was the courtroom, that decided the fate of the world's richest shipwreck. Its gold and artifacts are now held in trust for history, not for the highest bidder. A chill November morning in 1992 found Eric Laws, a retired farmer, walking a plowed field near Hoxton with his metal detector. A bright, insistent tone broke the silence. Laws knelt, brushed back the earth, and uncovered a silver pepper pot. He paused, recognizing the gravity of the find, and reached for his phone. Within minutes, Police Constable Tony Harper arrived, cordoned off the site, and summoned the Suffolk Archaeological Service. The field transformed from farmland to a controlled archaeological dig, with every layer of soil carefully recorded and every object mapped in place. By the end of the day, archaeologists had revealed a chest brimming with Roman gold and silver. It contained over 15,000 coins, jewelry, and tableware, hidden since the twilight of Roman Britain. The coroner's inquest soon declared the hoard official treasure, clearing the way for acquisition by the British Museum. Laws and the landowner received a reward, split equally, in recognition of their immediate reporting and cooperation. The Hoxton hoard's rapid, documented recovery gave scholars an unmatched data set on late Roman coinage and personal wealth, setting a new ethical standard for citizen discovery and public stewardship. Beneath our feet, secrets still sleep, lost civilizations, ancient gold, sacred words waiting for chance to pull back the veil. Each accidental find reminds us, history hides in plain sight. In a world mapped and measured, wonder endures. What else lies buried? Just one moment from discovery. Share your thoughts below.